wisdom of the Creator. For example, look, we have a nose next to our mouth. So before you eat, what you do is smell food. We have eyebrows above our eyes. Because why? That protects us from the sweat. And the sweat contains the salt. If it keeps going to your eye, that will damage your eyes. Likewise, we have a joint in our elbows. If we don't have a joint, you know how we will be walking like this. You know, it's funny, you know, and you will never be able to eat. You have to start eating like a dog, basically. You see? So the one that put a joint here indicate is the most wise. Likewise, rain. What rain can do can bring us what? Provision, food. And but again, likewise, the Creator can use the rain as what? As a punishment for the people who disobey Him. Does it make sense to you so far? Okay. If this is the case, therefore, the Creator that possesses wisdom and possess mercy will not create the creation without any purpose.
Yeah.
Do you agree? So, therefore, there is a purpose of this creation. Logically speaking, the only way to know our purpose of this life is what? To go back to the Creator. Let me give you an example. And now, if I make a car from scratch, no one knows about the car better than I do. Because who make it from scratch, I make it. So now, if you buy it from me and there's any problems with it, if you want to know about it in details, you come back to me. Make sense? Okay. Now, as a Muslims, what we say, which makes sense, how the Creator did it is by choosing people from us, human beings from us, to tell us our purpose of life. Because based upon His wisdom and His mercy, did not leave it up to our intellect to come to a conclusion what is our purpose of life. Why? Because we have different feelings, we have different intellect. So a person might say, my purpose is just to sleep all day. Someone say my purpose is to smoke drugs. Someone say my purpose is to steal, you know. So based upon the Creator's wisdom and His mercy, He chose people amongst us. But again, the Creator knows there is some people claim to be prophets of God, but they are liars. So what the Creator did when He chose people amongst us, He gave them something to differentiate them from the rest of the people. For example, let me ask you a question. Who knows the future in details? The Creator. Because in order for me to create something, I have to possess knowledge how to make it. So the Creator. So now, I don't have to go to Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Noah, Jacob. If I establish Prophet Muhammad as a true prophet, logic dictates you should believe what he came with. Okay? So now, one of the signs that God gave the prophets of His, or messengers of His, that they prophesied about the future. For example, Prophet Muhammad, 1400 years ago, he said there will come a time when you see barefooted Arab man competing in building tall buildings. Listen to this, yeah? When the Prophet Muhammad mentioned that, back then, the Arabs were not known to build tall buildings. So there was not any indication to indicate the Arab will do that. And now, so those days, those who were known for it, the Persians, the Romans, the Greeks, the Egyptians. Let me ask you this question. Where is the tallest building in the world? Dubai. Dubai is the Arab Peninsula. Dubai 50 years ago was a pure desert, let alone 1400 years ago. So how Prophet Muhammad knew that? You see, because as a Muslim, we don't just believe in Islam or Prophet Muhammad because we just blind follow. No, we have a tangible proof that we can share with everyone and for everyone to analyze and to come to a conclusion, Muhammad must be a true Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So now this one thing. Another prophecy, Prophet Muhammad said there will come a time when the Muslim will overtake Constantinople. You know Constantinople? Istanbul, yes? The Muslim took over Constantinople 857 after Prophet Muhammad's migration. Literally like 700 years or 800 years after Prophet Muhammad passed away. Again, how he knew that? I'll give you someone which is powerful than that. I'm sorry for taking your time. Okay? Someone which is greater than that. We have a manuscript of the Old Testament because in the Quran Allah mentioned that Muhammad, your name, your description is been mentioned in the previous scriptures. Now we found a manuscript which is the Old Testament, goes backdates 1,000 years before Prophet Muhammad came into existence. However, there is a description and a prophecy about Prophet Muhammad. Where is it? Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42 clearly speaks about a person who's coming to glorify the Lord. Who is his servant? He's coming to the Gentiles. And we know the prophets of are you familiar with the prophets in the Old Testament? Like Moses, Jesus. Okay. Isaiah was before Jesus. However, he was after Moses. And he was after who? Solomon. So Isaiah prophesizing about someone is coming to glorify the Lord. He's coming to the Gentiles. Likewise, it says, let the witness and its cities lift up their voice, the village that Kedah inhabits. Person might say, who's Kedah? Kedah is the son of Ishmael. Person might say, how do you know that? When you go to the Old Testament, Genesis 25:13, he says, this is the names of the sons of Ishmael. The firstborn is Nabayoth. The second one is Kedah. So when you analyze the prophecy that is been mentioned in Isaiah 42, does not fit no one except Prophet Muhammad. He speaks about Kedah. And we know, historically speaking, from the Muslims and the non-Muslims, there was no prophet after Isaiah that came to the Arab, to the inhabitants of Kedah, except Prophet Muhammad. Because Prophet Muhammad's name is Muhammad, son of Abdullah, son of Abdul Muttalib, son of Hashim. He goes back to who? He goes back to Qaydar, the son of Ishmael, the son of Ibrahim. So now, as a Muslim, I have a tangible proof to establish Muhammad as a true prophet. Does it make sense to you so far?
Yeah.
Is it clear to you so far? That's what is Islam. Islam, many people think, what is Islam? Is it to be Pakistani? Or is it Islam to be Indian? Or, no, Islam.
So the only thing, so I've been reading about the life of Muhammad.
Yes.
And I've started trying to read the Quran in English.
Yeah. What do you think?
I believe in Allah. I believe that Muhammad is a prophet. The only thing is, like, the words. That's what
Which words?
In the Quran, being like directly the word. But then the thing is, it depends how you think of God. So I come from a Christian culture, like not my parents, but like the Christian culture teaches you like God is a man in the sky, basically.
We don't believe that.
No.
Of course, we don't believe
But
that.
it's really hard for me to think of God as something, like I'm trying really hard to think of God
I'll explain to you, look.
an energy.
Yeah, no. What we say about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Think about it.
Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way He described to us who He is in the best manners. Why? He described Himself with attributes.
Yeah.
He's the most merciful. So now, because we're not perfect. We don't know what we do. Sometimes we make mistakes, we fall into sin. So now if I fall into sin, I remember that Allah mentioned in the Quran is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most beneficent, the most merciful. So that attributes, I worship Allah by it. How? I should not despair from Allah's mercy. So I come back.
Yeah.
Likewise, Allah is Al-Alim. So I know before I do anything, Allah knows everything. There's nothing hidden from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how you should worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is by reflecting upon His names and attributes. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said is Al-Ghafur, often forgiven, meaning He forgives all the sins. You remember that. Likewise, Allah mentioned that Allah does not love those who transgress, those who oppress the others. So imagine now, I'm going to rob someone, but I remember, no, Allah mentioned the Quran, Allah hates those who oppress the others. So that stopped me. So I'm saying, because A'udhu Billah, imagine Allah said, He stole and He's big. That doesn't benefit me in His worship. He stole, He's big, but does He forgive? Does He know everything? Is He merciful? Is He powerful? So the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran explain to us who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because to be honest, sister, the word energy, the term energy, when you look to the definition of it, as a Muslim, we don't reject it and we don't accept it. When we say, what do you mean by energy? Because according to the book of physics, energy meaning ability to do work. We say yes, that's the attribute of the Creator, but we don't call it energy. We call it what? Power. So when you read the Quran, always when you start thinking about God, there is, in order for me to know how Allah look or who is Allah, He has to come from Allah Himself, or He has to come from His messengers. So what came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He came that He described Himself with His names and attributes. Because in order for you to know someone how He look like, you saw Him before, or there's something look like Him. Correct? Or someone saw Him and He told you how He looks, yes? So when you look to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one sees Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, we see the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We saw the miracles of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Likewise, there is nothing like unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to compare Allah with His creation. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, no one is safe from that. Like me, I've been a Muslim all my life, alhamdulillah. But sometimes I'm reading the Quran, I come and Satan will try to play with my head. Is Allah like this, Allah like that? But Allah already gave me a criteria. ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير. There is nothing like unto Allah, and He's the all-hearing, the all-seeing. So when you read the Quran, when you pass by Allah's names and attributes, remember Allah is Ar-Rahim, but is He most merciful like us? No. Allah's mercy is perfect. Our mercy is what? Has deficiency. You see what I'm saying? So always remember that. You see what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying, sister, logic dictates that if you believe and you accept that I'm a doctor, may Allah forbid, yeah, and you have a disease, what you should do, you should follow my advice, because you establish I'm a doctor. So now maybe I will give you a medication that you saw is thinking doesn't make any sense, medication, but you trust me. Why? Because you know I know what I'm doing. I'm a doctor. So I'm saying when we establish Prophet Muhammad as a true prophet, some things doesn't make any sense. Some things in the Quran or the prophetic tradition is beyond our understanding. However, does not contradict our intellect. So what we accept it because why? We believe Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet of Allah. You see, and as we have mentioned, Allah knows about ourselves and about the creation better than anyone else. Is that clear? Makes sense? Okay. So what I'm saying to you, if you accept Allah is a true Ilah, a true God, and the Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet, what is stopping you to accept Islam? And that's the biggest blessing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, look what Allah said in the Quran. Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created jinn and mankind except to worship me. Allah mentioned in the Quran, إِنَّ الدِّينَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ Islam. The meaning of the verse. The religion with Allah is Al-Islam. Allah mentioned another verse, وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Whoever seeks religion other than Islam will never be accepted from him. And in the hereafter, he will be from the losers. Remember that Allah is not in need of us, and we are in need of Allah. How many people they worship trees? How many people worship dogs? But look, Allah chose you amongst other creation to guide you to the truth. So you should accept it. Because if it makes sense to you and is clear to you and you believe it's the truth, you should utter it. Let me give you an example. If you love your mother in your heart, would you not say it? Would you not show it? So by buying flowers to her, looking after her. So if you believe Islam is truth, profess it and implement it. However, step by step. Don't start thinking about hijab, I have to do this. No. It's step by step, you know?
Yeah, because I would never want to do something like, I mean, on the one hand it's faith, obviously, so faith is going to be faith, and you can never be 100% sure, can you? You have to have faith.
No, but Islam is 100%
then on the
true.
other side,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have to understand that as long as the foundations are clear to you, then you don't have to know about everything. You know what I just did to you, sister? I just showed you that, okay, how do we know Islam is the truth? Like not just faith, meaning that just blind follow. Because
no, that's not what I mean. Either, but
like believe. That we are sure that Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet.
It's a jump. You have to do like some kind of.
Yeah, of course. Let me give you this one. Yeah, it's the best example. Islam is like a cake. If you eat it all, not like a cake, but you know, an example. Yeah. Okay. If you eat all of it one time, what will happen to you?
You feel sick.
You feel sick and you vomit it. In order for you to feel the sweetness of the cake, what you have to do? Bit by bit. Islam is step by step. The first thing that you have to accept that your creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you should worship him. Let me give you something. To know the virtues of Shahadatain and to say it and to accept what your Lord created you for. If I give you £2 million, what would you say to me? If I give it to you, I tell you, no, take it, don't worry. Would you not thank me? You thank me, correct? Okay, would you remember me all the time? Of course, £2 million, you know? Okay, listen to this now. I will give you £2 million on the condition you give me your 2 eyes. Would you do that? No. So your 2 eyes is more valuable than £2 million. But what about the one who gave it to you for free? Why don't you thank him?
I have them.
You see what I'm saying? But are you correcting him in the correct manner, which pleases him? You see what I'm saying? I'll give you another example. And now, if you have a friend, and like you know, you wanna buy a gift to your friend. Would you buy a gift to your friend that you love or your friend love? So therefore, we should worship the Creator the way He loves, not the way we love. Does it make sense? So I'm saying what Prophet Muhammad said. One of the ways and one of deception of a Satan. One of deception of a Satan. Prophet Muhammad mentioned when someone wants to become a Muslim, because remember what you're doing. You want to revert back that which you were born with. Because Prophet Muhammad said every person who was born as submitted to the Creator, and his family make him a Jew or a Christian or a fire worshipper. So when a Satan notices that you're doing that, he will bring you all the doubts, barriers. Are you not perfect? No one is perfect. You know what I mean? Look, Ummuna Aisha, our mother, the wife of Prophet Muhammad. She said the first thing that came as a revelation to Prophet Muhammad is what? To know Allah first. To worship Allah. Description of paradise. Description of hellfire. Afterward, the legislations. Step by step. Because the Creator is all wise. Imagine now I tell you, listen, become a Muslim, start wearing jilbab, I'm not saying smoking, but I'm saying you just You can tell me, no, that's too much for me. You know what I mean? That's why the first thing I'm focusing on and emphasizing on is the Shahadatan, is the key. So I'm saying, now there's two things. Either you live with the key, and if you, may Allah forbid, but no one is safe from death. How many people left the house and never come back? How many people won't sleep, they never wake up? There's nothing guaranteed this time except death. And we're taking our life for granted. You know, wallahi, like many people that we knew, we were talking to them like that. Then they left, they never come back. So are we ready for death? Allah said in the Quran, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. Allah will never punish any nation until He sends a messenger to them. So Allah mentioned in the Quran that if the meaning of the verse, if the truth is clear to someone and he turns away from it, then there's no blame except on him. So if the truth is clear to you, then as for hijab, as for praying, then step by step. Of course, praying is something good. Like when we pray, it's something good for our bodies, for our limbs, physically and spiritually, you know. So when you look to Islam, whatever Islam tells you to do is good for you. And whatever Islam tells you to stay away from is bad for you. So I'm saying don't focus on the other thing. Remember Shahadatan, that Satan is your enemy. Sahih? True? Okay. Let me ask a question. Would you take your worst enemy as your advisor? No. So I'm saying. So now what is happening? Satan is our enemy. So now, sister, if it's clear to you, makes sense to the foundation, take Shahada and step by step. I will tell you just a word of encouragement. My wife, she's a revert. She became Muslim when she was 14.
Okay.
Well, she was 14, you know. She's a solution. She said when the truth was clear to her, she was reading. One day she was in her room praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know. Then she accepted Islam by herself, you know. And one day my mom came and she saw her praying. But I'm saying that she told me when I saw the truth, I accepted. Because you never know, you know, before it's too late. Wallahi, the truth, you're not gonna fly, you're not gonna start kicking. No. Shahadatan, which is the wording that Allah created you for. What is a Shahadatan? That you testify there is no one worthy of worship except Allah. As I told you, if I give you £2 million, you say thank me. But if I give you £2 million, you never give me your 2 eyes. So you should be thankful to the one, give you 2 eyes. So Shahada, the first part, basically you are saying that I accept and I testify that I should appreciate and I should show gratitude to my Creator. The second part, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. So you say I testify I should show gratitude to my Creator according to His Messenger Muhammad. You see what I'm saying? That's a Shahadatan, you know.
Yeah.
It's not something like, you know, you have to change a passport. Or, but it's better than a passport, of course. It will take you to Jannah, you know. So take the key of you.
I like your metaphors.
Alhamdulillah. So I'm saying, wallahi, it's clear, sister. Don't let the shaitan try to stop you from it. That's why I'm saying the foundation is clear. If you believe, because remember, what you're going to say is not in my heart. Of course, it's in my heart, but it's in your heart too. And you accept it's the truth, and it makes sense to you. Then step by step. And Prophet Muhammad said, when a person becomes a Muslim, all his sins forgiven. Wallah is the biggest blessing.
Newborn baby.
Wallah, my wife told me when she became Muslim, she felt differently. You know what I mean? Of course, sometimes you have haste, like thinking, not time, not this time. But are you guaranteed to live tomorrow? No. So when the truth comes, grasp it. That's the way of the servant of the Creator. When the truth is clear to them, they take it. You know what I mean? So you should accept the truth. You know what I mean? You should take Shahada. You're gonna say which please your Creator. Make sense to you?
Yeah, thank you.
Is it clear to you?
Thank you for taking the time.
No problem at all. Okay, I'm gonna say Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasul Allah. In English, I bear witness. There is no one worthy. Of worship. Except Allah. And I bear witness. That Muhammad is Allah's messenger. And the servant of Allah. Alhamdulillah, Muslim now. Allahu Akbar. Wallahi, you made my day. Allah bless you, sister. And wallahi, I have a book for you, alhamdulillah, here. I'm very happy, you know, you made my day. I'm very happy today. Even I haven't eaten, but I asked what I ate. But I'm happy that it's sufficient for me. Wallahi, that is a gift for me. Okay, sister? May Allah bless you, sister. What I will tell you, sister, that remember now, look, what we have to understand, and let us be realistic with ourselves, that this life without doubt is a bridge, that we're going to cross from one side to the other side. And Allah already told us in the Quran, look from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He showed us the correct way. And He reminded us, and He gave us signs. He sent His prophets, His messengers, for us to be His neighbors. Wallahi, if one of us, someone will tell, listen, tomorrow I'm going to get you a house to be the neighbor of the queen, everyone will be happy. What about the king of the kings? To be the neighbors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.